You're sitting across from a friend mid-conversation when they yawn. You didn't feel tired a second ago, but within moments your jaw loosens, your eyes water, and you're yawning too. It happens before you can stop it. It happens even if you try to fight it. Most people brush this off as a strange little quirk of being human, but contagious yawning is not a coincidence, and it's not just about being tired. It's one of the oldest, strangest signals your brain sends without asking permission to understand why. You have to go back further than modern conversation, further than language itself. You have to go back to a time when survival depended on staying in sync with the group around you. Yawning itself is ancient. Nearly every vertebrate does it. Fish yawn, birds yawn, dogs yawn. Even unborn human babies yawn in the womb weeks before they take their first breath outside it. That tells researchers something important. Yawning isn't learned, it's wired in from the very beginning. For a long time, scientists assumed yawning existed purely to bring more oxygen into the blood when the body felt sluggish. It's a tidy explanation, and it's partly true, but it doesn't explain why yawning spreads from person to person, like a quiet wave moving through a room. That spreading effect is where things get interesting. Contagious yawning isn't about your lungs, it's about your brain reading someone else's brain. Researchers have found that seeing, hearing, or even just reading about a yawn can trigger one in you. Neuroscientist Elizabeth Ciroli studied this pattern and found that contagious yawning isn't just a human trait, it also appears in close-knit animals like wolves and chimpanzees, especially between individuals who already share a bond. That detail matters more than it seems. Yawning doesn't spread randomly between strangers with the same intensity it spreads between people who know each other well. Studies on empathy and social bonding have shown a clear pattern. The stronger the emotional connection between two people, the more likely a yawn is to catch family members, catch each other's yawns more often than acquaintances do. Close friends catch them more than co-workers. Co-workers catch them more than total strangers passing on the street. That pattern points towards something deeper than fatigue. It points toward mirroring. Your brain contains a network of cells often called mirror neurons. Brain cells that activate both when you perform an action and when you watch someone else perform that same action. When you see a yawn, part of your brain responds as though you were doing it yourself. This mirroring system isn't unique to yawning. It's part of a much older toolkit your ancestors relied on to stay coordinated as a group. Long before spoken language existed, early humans needed fast, silent ways to share information. A raised head, a shift in posture, a change in breathing, these small physical cues let a group react together without a single word being spoken. Imagine a small band of early humans resting near a fire as daylight begins to fade. One person's body starts to wind down, their breathing slows, their alertness dips. If that person yawns and the people around them unconsciously begin winding down too, the whole group starts settling into rest at roughly the same time. That kind of synchronized behavior would have mattered. A group that rests together and wakes together is a group that can react together if something in the dark moves the wrong way. Seen through that lens, a yawn isn't a random glitch. It's a quiet form of communication. It's your nervous system quietly asking the people around you to match your state, and the nervous systems quietly agreeing. This idea helps explain another strange finding: not everyone catches yawns the same way. Children under the age of 4 rarely catch yawns from others, even though they yawn plenty on their own. Their mirroring systems and their sense of social bonding are still developing as empathy and social awareness grow through childhood. So does the tendency to catch a yawn from someone else? On the other end of that spectrum, some people almost never catch a yawn at all. Researchers have noticed that people who show reduced responses to contagious yawning sometimes also show differences in social processing, including in some studies involving individuals with autism spectrum traits. This doesn't mean a person is broken or lacking empathy in some simple, obvious way. It means the underlying mirroring circuitry may be wired a little differently, and yawning offers scientists a small measurable window into that difference. Even stress and exhaustion play a role. When you're sleep deprived, your brain relies more heavily on these fast automatic emotional signals from the people around you because slower, more effortful thinking becomes harder to sustain. Some researchers believe this is part of why yawning spreads even faster through a room full of tired people. Everyone's mirroring system is running just a little closer to the surface, and it isn't only in person. Reading a paragraph about yawning right now has probably already tempted your body to do it. Video and audio versions of a yawn can trigger the same response. Even hearing the word repeated enough times can be enough to set it off. That's how deeply this circuit is wired. It doesn't require a real person in front of you, it only requires a strong enough cue that your brain interprets as a shared signal. So the next time a yawn moves silently through a meeting, a classroom, or a quiet living room, it's worth pausing on what's actually happening beneath the surface. It isn't boredom announcing itself. It isn't just tired bodies reacting to low oxygen, it's a signal passing from one nervous system to another, the same way it passed between early humans resting near a fire, long before anyone had the words to explain why. You weren't taught to catch a yawn, you were built to catch one. And somewhere in that automatic response is a small, quiet echo of every group of humans who ever needed to move, rest, and stay alert together in order to survive the night.